release quick practice, about 15 minutes. We're going to chill out like Brew in here. If we could all take lessons from him on how to chill. If you have a blanket, a bolster, a block, you can grab that or nothing at all. I'm just going to bring this underneath my sit bones. Just let those knees come down. I'm sitting in Sukhasana, one leg folded in front of the other. Sitting up nice and tall, rolling the shoulders down and away from the earlobes, closing the eyes. For today, let's press palms down on the knees. Just centering ourselves, letting go of anything that's led up into this moment before you pressed play. And taking this time to press pause on your life so you can just be with yourself, exploring your body and your breath, giving yourself this gift of time just to reconnect, to open up the flow of energy in the body, to focus on your health, your mental health, your physical health, to be present. Let's start by taking a breath count where we inhale through the nostrils for a count of 4. We hold the breath at the top, and then we exhale for a count of 7 through the nostrils if it's available to you. Push all the air out, pausing at the base of that exhale, and then we breathe in for 4. Pause. Exhale 7. Pause. Inhale 4. Pause. Exhale 7. Pause again. One more time. Flutter your eyes open, just noticing how even that small few seconds of breath just changes the energy, changes the vibration, even changes maybe the heart space that you're feeling, and that breath is available to you anytime. Let's now inhale, arms all the way up. Take your left hand down to the ground, walk those fingertips up and over as you fold over to the right. Big full extension and maybe spiraling the heart up towards the sky. You might only have 15 minutes in your day today, so pressing play is a good way to use that 15 minutes. You don't need long to breathe, to connect, to unwind. This is also great practice to do before bed or when you get up in the morning, setting the intention for the day. Let's find some tone in our belly. Inhale, come all the way up from that side body stretch and take it over to the other side. Walking those fingertips up, bringing that opposite arm up and over. You choose the depth and where you are. I just finished our cardio tone class, so some of you might be linking this up with that. And if you are, you can take this a little bit deeper because you've had that warm up. If you're doing this class on your own, just take it slow. Feel into it, let your body decide your depth, let your breath lead you. Inhale all the way up. We're going to come over to that side body stretch one more time, up and over. This one not as long, spread the fingers. Find that tone in the body. We're going to lift up. Take your left hand over to your right knee, right hand behind you. Sit up tall. Start from the belly button and twist. Again, if this is a warm-up for you, it's going to be gentle If you are using this at the end of a practice, you can use that hand against the thigh and really ring out the spine. Head looking over the shoulder. Let's inhale, come back to center. Arms all the way up. We're going to take it over to the other side now. Reaching, spreading the fingers. Tone through the body. Right hand crosses to the left knee. Other hand behind us. Inhale, sitting tall. Exhale, twist it. All the way back to center. Release whatever is underneath of you. Just push that over to the side. Bring your hands behind you, fingertips pointing towards your heels. And you're going to start to puff out that chest. A little bit of weight into the palms of your hands, fingers spread wide. Just feel that beautiful stretch up the arms, across the chest, maybe letting the head fall back slightly, or if that doesn't feel comfortable, keeping the chin into the chest. Get really broad across the collarbones. Sitting up nice and tall, bend into those elbows, come all the way up. We're going to separate the legs, bring them a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and we're going to just windshield wiper. Hands are still behind us, letting that internal, external rotation happen. Just warming up the hips, especially if you've been sitting here. This is a great way to build some movement. Now you can stay where you are. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see. We are going to separate the feet a little bit wider now, and we're going to come down onto our elbows, pressing into the elbows, puffing out the chest. We're going to start today with that right knee, and we're going to drop the right knee to the internal rotation. So I'm resting on the inside of that right foot. I want to just make sure that knee is underneath my hip. It's not too far in or too far out. Alignment's really important here. And you're going to take that knee as far down as your body will allow. Keep the chest puffing up. You can keep the chin into the chest. This other knee can either fall out or you can keep it up nice and high. We're going to inhale, come all the way up, and do the same to the other side. So dropping that knee in, you might need to walk the foot out a little bit to get that nice alignment, knee under hip. See if you can tuck the tailbone under, engage through the belly, and really breathe into the space you're creating. Let's do it one more time, lifting up, dropping right side down, check your alignment, tuck the tailbone under, lift the pelvic floor, rib cage down, open up the chest, lift, drop your other knee all the way down, a mini melt, and then back up. Heel toe, those feet together. We're going to press into the forearms, lift through the chest, breathe, and then slowly relax that posture. Come all the way up onto your hands now, wrists underneath the shoulder, fingerprints still pointing towards the heels. This time we're going to walk the heels out from underneath the knee. Tuck the chin to the chest, lift the hips up, reverse tabletop. Squeeze into your bum, lift a little bit taller, coming a little bit higher here. Look down at the belly button. Keep those knees nice and parallel, not falling in or splaying out. Breathe into all the tightness, the stiffness, the sensation, and use that breath to unlock here. Tap your bum down. Wrap the hands around the shin bones, walk those feet in, tuck chin to chest, curl back. Feel that spine create some space, some lengthening, some decompression, some traction. Sitting up nice and tall, rolling those shoulders all the way down and back. Let's cross the ankles over, bring the hands to the ground, spread out the fingers, and then you're going to step back to your downward facing dog. Now again, everybody's doing this at a different time of the day, so if this is your first movement of the day, take your time. Spread out the fingers, press those hips Pelvis back, bend into the knees. Maybe the knees stay bent and you're working on the length of the spine. If you've done a practice already, you can start to twist, start to play, moving the head side to side, just feeling into some of the areas that didn't get opened, and now you're going to breathe into them and help to open those up. We're going to bring the heels down. We're going to squeeze into that right bum cheek to lift that right leg in the air. Point the toe, roll out the ankle, and then you're going to bring that knee into the chest and you're going to step the foot between the hands. Back knee comes down. We're going to bring our forehead to our knee and we're going to wave up nice and high. Reach those hands up. Bring the hands to the inside of the knee. And then we're going to heel toe that right foot out to the side. We're going to just start to rock back and forth. That foot can stay down or you can lift the toes up. So your choice of what you want to feel. Play with both. And then once you've done a couple of those rocking, then come back up and we're going to do some side to side rocks. Keeping the knee and the shoulder connected. And then check in, see if you can move this back knee back a little bit further. Roll over onto the pinky side toe of the foot. We're going to make sure that left hand is underneath the shoulder and you're going to take that right arm all the way up. Big reach up. Bring the hand down now on the outside of the foot and walk that foot in. We're going to lift the back leg. Reach around, grab the back of your foot, and we're going to start just to pull that knee in towards the bum. If that's too much, you can just curl up the foot. You don't need to grab it. And then slowly release. Place your hand down, lift your back knee, step on that, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Take some really conscious deep breaths here. And then place that right heel down. Squeeze into the left bum cheek. Lift that leg up, roll it up. You're in a little bit of an arabesque, so the hips are somewhat stacked and they're not squared off. That's okay. Reach, reach, reach. Exploring those long inner lines of the inner thigh. And then when you're ready, bringing that knee in towards the chest and stepping it all the way through. Back knee comes down, forehead to knee, round it up, take it up nice and tall, big, big reach, and then float the hands down to the inside of the foot. Walk that foot over. Start to rock forward and back, either keeping that foot down or lifting the toes up. Back toes are tucked under. Feeling into the hips, feeling into this movement. We talk about motion being lotion, so lubricating those joints. Couple more rocks, and then come up to a stationary position and start your movement side to side, left to right. And this should feel good, breaking up any of the junk, the adhesions through the hips. And then stationary again, this time right shoulder underneath, right wrist underneath the right shoulder. Little twist, extending left arm up. Pull that belly up and in, and imagine this right rib cage coming all the way around. Reach, reach, reach. Big breaths. Top hand comes down to the outside of the foot as you heel toe that foot in. We're going to reach around now, left hand to the top of that right foot. We're going to start to pull that right heel in towards your bum. You might want to come up on your right fingertips, or you might stay down on the palm. Keep breathing. Again, if this isn't accessible for you, that's okay. Do what you can do. Breathe. And release. Leg down, hand down, stepping back. downward facing dog. Let's squeeze, right bum cheek, lift that leg up. This time we're gonna bring the knee to the wrist, untuck the back toes. Sit up nice and tall, extend through the chest, push the back of the head towards that wall behind you. Big, deep breath in. Exhale, start to fold forward, coming all the way down. Stack fists, hands, or forehead to the ground. Check in, make sure there's flexion through those right toes and the hips are squared off. Take some deep breaths right into this right side. Press into the ground, lift yourself back up, plant your hands, tuck your toes under, lift that back knee and push yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Right heel plants down, we squeeze, left leg lifts nice and high, knee comes in, coming straight over to the wrist, that leg extends straight back, square off the hips, sit up tall, chin into chest, preparing the body, lengthen and then fold all the way down. Find where it feels comfortable for you, where you can feel sensation, but the breath is not labored, it's flowing. Soften and just relax into this. Letting go. Surrendering. It's pretty hard to do right now, surrendering to what is. Good place to practice is here on the mat. Walking yourself back up, and if by all means you need longer in any of these stretches, please stay. You can always press pause. That's a great thing about doing online classes. You get to take it at your own pace. Roll over to your bum cheek. Slide the other leg in front of you. Bring the soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. Hands come behind you. Push that chest out, puff it out. Let the knees drop, chin into chest. From here, tilt from the pelvis, bring those hands in front. See if you can maintain a straight spine. Start to lean forward, and then all of a sudden it will feel like you can't maintain the straight spine. Then start to round, curl, come down. Hands can come onto the feet. You can open your feet like a book, or you can use your elbows on your thighs, getting a little bit more tractioning, a little bit more space in those hips. Inhale back up, stretch out that left leg, take your right ankle on top, let that right knee fall, and then we're going to lengthen forward and come down. You can grab onto the leg if that's accessible, or maybe just fingertips on the floor. Deep breathing. Sit up tall, hand under the knee. Place that foot on the ground. Wrap your arm in front of the leg or take it over top. Circle those fingers behind you. Pull the navel in. Big, tall, long spine. Breath in. Use the elbow against the leg or squeezing onto the leg and begin that twist. We've opened up enough now so you can come just a little bit deeper using your breath. And then circle back. Let's flip it, coming the other way, other arm in front, right hand to the inside of that leg, sit up tall, open twist. And then we're going to change it up. Extend, crossing ankle over thigh, sitting up nice and tall, just letting that knee fall out. Toes flex back, starting to fold forward. Coming to your capacity, you might notice the side feels quite a bit different from the other side, a unique sensation. Each side has its own little voice. Listening to it, listening to the needs from left to right. Just honoring where you're at. Sit up tall, take the hand under the knee, plant the foot down. Remember your options in front or up and over. Sitting tall, pulling that belly button up and in. Get your length, take a breath in, then start your rotation. Unravel, nice open twist. Hand comes to the inside of the leg, looking over your shoulder. And then coming back to center. We're going to extend those legs out. Pull the thigh muscles up and back. Dandasana, staff pose. Toes pull back, sitting up nice and tall. Maybe your hamstrings don't work that long and straight, which is totally fine. So then, or they don't feel good long and straight, so you're going to keep a slight bend in the knees. It's a myth that Dandasana needs straight legs, so you take what feels best for you. Lift that pelvic floor, find some length, and then from the pelvis, tilt forward, extending. Reach, reach, reach. And then from here, we're going to slowly roll up, and then we're going to start to roll back. It almost feels like your pants are sliding off of you. You're going to use that pelvic floor to pull in, almost like brakes on a car, and slowly work your way down to the mat. Take the arms overhead, big stretch, point the toes. And then we're going to end in Baddha Konasana today, just to make the most use of our time. So soles of the feet together, knees out, Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining cobbler's pose. If this is too much for you, you can bring blocks under the knees, or you can come into our regular Shavasana. Let's place one hand on our heart, one hand on our belly, closing our eyes and just feeling the connection to our breath here. Feeling the connection to the ground. Just letting yourself relax. I'm going to put on one of my favorite Shavasana songs. There's a little bit of cracking at the beginning, but then it clears up. Just taking this time to breathe. To connect with yourself and what's going on for you in this moment. Then maybe just letting it all go. Letting yourself melt. Letting yourself be perfectly whole, perfectly imperfect, human. Dear sweet soul, we are all hopelessly flawed. We are all perfect, luminous beings inside vulnerable hearts and bodies. We are doing our best, sometimes fumbling through near dark, trying to make our way. This applies to you too. It's okay to love yourself anyways. Love the brilliant light of your heart. Love the dark places. Love what's cracked and parched, what's bruised and still bleeding. Take this magnificent whole and be as kind and as gentle with it as you are the sweet souls around you. Take off your armor, put down your fists. This is not a war. With grace and humility, willingly receive all the love, happiness, kindness, connection, money, travel, opportunity, privilege, praise, and acceptance the sweet life bestows upon you. Use these incredible gifts to help others. Keep growing, keep learning, keep opening your heart wider. Be sweet, work hard, but in this moment, please remember, you are good. You are enough. Passage in Radical Acceptance by Tara Brach. Just slowly start to wiggle fingers and toes. Roll into the wrists, into the ankles, and give yourself a huge stretch. Lifting that lower back off the ground. Bend your knees, roll over to one side, and just make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Sit so the spine is tall and bring the hands to heart center. Thumbs onto the heart space. Bow the head to the heart, connecting love and wisdom. Thank you so much for your practice today. Namaste.